everybody. If somebody could just do a double confirmation for me that audio is working in Discord, I would greatly appreciate that. And just getting things kicked off here. Punky1402, how are you doing today? Working, yes. Awesome. And we are live streaming on the YouTube today as well. So just a warning for you all out there. We are trying to make it so that we can record these so people can access them in the future. So if you aren't able to stick around for the whole event, but you maybe have questions or you're looking to get some, questions answered, please feel free. Drop your questions in the chat and we will answer them as we can. And then you can watch the replay. But we are live streaming this out on to the YouTube on the IT Career Questions YouTube channel if you guys are interested. You can find that here from the Discord /IT career questions. And if you are joining us from the YouTube and you'd like to join us on Discord, I will put the link to our Discord channel on YouTube in just a moment. But if you are joining us today, this is maybe your first time here, welcome. This is a very open format where everybody is more than welcome to participate. So you can ask questions, you can help answer questions, but the whole point of this is to just be here for you, the audience, the students, to hang out with you guys and possibly help answer any questions that you might have, or I don't know, just hang out. And sometimes you just have to listen to me banter with myself, and that's okay too. And I just shared the link to the Discord on the YouTube. If there's anybody else who's looking for a link to join us on Discord, please let me know. I'm going to try to monitor chat in all of the different places that I can. But hopefully y'all are having a good week so far. Oh, Malini, which are best cybersecurity certifications for OT security? I don't know if there's necessarily a best one for that specifically. What's going on, Leon? How you doing?
Hey, doing fine. Just jumped from another meeting. Well, not a meeting, another Discord thing that was happening before this. I know it's way too bright. Let me close the window.
Yeah, I don't think there's a specifically like any OT related, certifications that would help you out there specifically.
I think only SANS have it. Like an
SANS
ICS
has
or
like
T
yeah,
certification.
they have like a
But
a
it's
learning path.
SANS. That's quite a lot of money.
Yeah, SANS. The good old SANS. Yeah, sorry
I
though.
don't know. There are some trainings, but most of the trainings are still expensive. And nothing. It's a weird area.
SANS is money.
Yeah, since this month. Just ask AI to see. Um,
Trying to.
ISA also has some. Mm,
There's one from EC Council, but it's like foundation. Yeah, I don't know how much I would trust EC Council. Somebody on the YouTube says for OT security, I think SANS has certifications, but there's yeah. CompTIA recently released one. What?
what?
CompTIA? Wow. That was
Let me
back in
see.
May. Interesting. What is this? The SEC OT, eh? Hmm. Oh, proposed SEC IT.
Only in November. Hey, next year. Oh, it's
Next
not
year?
out yet.
Well, there you go. Hey, what's going on, Cobrew? How you doing? Well, thanks for the link, Chad.
30 techniques, unique elements,
Where are
control
you, Zima?
theory.
You're in the weekly AMA. So if you're joining us and you're new to this, we do this every single week, and we leave this as an opportunity for anyone and everyone to join us and either participate by helping answer questions or by asking questions. So it's just a helpful event that we put on every week. Hopefully, it's helpful. That's the plan, at least.
Wait, I'm seeing on the side that the retirement is estimated 3 years after launch. They're gonna retire the certification, or you have to finish.
CompTIA, their certifications expire every 3 years, so
Yeah,
they make
but
you renew
why
it.
what do they use the word retirement? You use the word retirement, it's probably certification itself. Uh, You will use expiration.
Yeah, expiration, that would be the right word. Yeah, why would they retire this one? Retire means that it would go away forever,
Oh, the
potentially.
exam number. Okay,
Oh, exam number, not the cert. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah.
Words. Got to have the words. Yeah, poor wording. For
Mhm.
sure. Words are important though. Some people, they really rely on, that specific verbiage. It really helps. And CompTIA is like notorious for their verbiage too, and just being absolutely terrible in how they word everything. I don't know if they're absolutely terrible or it's like just 100% like factual. This is like exactly the way that it should be worded. This is the exact grammar that it should be. But as a normal human being, reading those questions on the exam sometimes is like, it makes
Mhm.
me feel like an idiot. Like, am I stupid? Do I not understand this? And then I'm reading the question
Mhm.
like 6 times just to make sure that I read it right. Thanks, CompTIA. Yeah, CompTIA exam wording is so tricky for sure. Code Bruce says Mike Holcomb. Holcomb is the go-to for OT. I'm sure he has some recommendations for certs. I recognize that name. Rosales, yeah. For a company that's so picky about wording, they're not solid on it. Yeah, at all, dude. It's just insane. You say they're
Or
super
I
tricky
will
for
say,
most people. They intentionally phrase things so if you missed a word, you're going to miss the question. Yeah, it's like sometimes you like. I wasn't even kidding, like legit. And I've said this multiple times. Sometimes like on the Count T exams, you have to read the question multiple times. Like there's just no getting around it because like I think
mhm.
they just purposely do that. Maybe not. I don't know. It's annoying. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
For OT, I will say that the best is getting the experience and get non-cybersecurity certifications because the cybersecurity certifications are, I will say, lacking on the OT side. But the industry certifications, the IT, the systems, it will be engineering certifications are really mature for that. I would prefer you to understand the technology itself and then add the security than just go to security without understanding the technology because OT you have to it's really different from IT and you have to know everything about it basically and how to know how to protect it.
I've got a couple questions. Here's one from the YouTube Royalty Timmy. Should I still go for a degree while I can just upgrade your skill and get better on web development at this time and age? That is AI taking over the field of computer science. Should you still go for a degree? Yes. If that's something that you can feasibly do with, all of the different, things going on in your life. Like if you are able to go to school and get a degree, that's always going to be a beneficial thing for you. Is it going to be like a requirement? No, by no means is it a requirement. It's just more of an advantage than anything. I would never steer anybody away from getting a degree because it's always going to be helpful. I just don't think it's required. But you will have advantage over somebody who does not have a degree. So there's one thing with that. The AI thing taking over the field, AI is not taking over the field. AI is not replacing jobs. AI is displacing jobs. And what I mean by
Mhm.
that is AI is going to help us evolve, and we are definitely going to have jobs displaced. And I say displaced very, very specifically because yes, these jobs in like actuality will be no more. But from this, new jobs will evolve. Like that's where we're at. That's what's going to happen. AI is not in any position where it's just going to completely destroy every single career field in the world. Like it's just not. It's not that powerful. It's powerful, but it's not that good. Um, it's a tool and it's a resource for you, and you should be utilizing that as a tool and a resource for you to help you, not to replace you. And that's very, very important to know and understand too. Is don't avoid AI because you think it's going to replace you. Welcome AI because it's going to help you. And if you're not on, like, if you're not staying up to date with it, like, you will get left behind because it's just going to be one of those tools that helps you progressively in the future. And that is essentially like what Google was like back in the day for so many people. Like and
Mhm.
still to this day, like nobody knows how to use, like, not, I say nobody, a lot of people have no idea how to use Google to like the best of its, potential, right? And it's going on almost like what 30 years of Google, right? That was the most powerful tool in your toolbox ever. And for the last 20 years, we've had people who just are incapable of understanding what that tool is and how to utilize that. And AI is going to be the exact same way. You're going to have very proficient people using AI and making it look like cakework, and then you're going to have people who just look at AI like a deer in the headlights, and that's just going to be forever. So you're
Mhm.
always going to have end users who just are incapable of doing anything, and you're always going to have a real human person helping support IT at some level all around. I'm sorry, that was just a big tirade on AI, but I hope I got my point across.
Yeah. As long as you don't use AI like blindly, you trust everything that the AI spits out, you're gonna be fine. If you're that type of person that instead of just talking to AI like it was a person that knows how to do everything, you clearly define goals, clearly defined what you want, how you want it, and what you don't want, then after that, you verify what the AI tells you by not using AI, but doing the research
By,
yourself.
by Googling it? You mean you gotta Google
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
No. Who would have thought? No
Hey,
way.
yeah, you have to Google still.
Hey, but guess what? If you think that every single Google result that you find is 100% accurate, you're wrong because
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
not the case either.
Go to the second page and third page. The first page sucks nowadays.
A lot of
Although I'm gonna be
yeah,
paying for my search engine. Like recently, I changed to the paid search engine that's called Kagi, and the results are great over there.
interesting. Can you put a link to that? I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And I know we will potentially miss a couple questions. So if we do miss your question, you need it answered, please go ahead. Don't feel afraid to put it in the chat again. Just don't spam it by any means. Please don't spam. But we do miss questions from time to time just because the chat does go fairly quickly sometimes. But
Yeah.
I saw Payne had a question earlier. They said, "What's a good way to baseline yourself while working in cybersecurity? Since there's so much to learn, I find not having an understanding of where I'm at in my knowledge base gives quite a bit of imposter syndrome." Welcome to cybersecurity. I don't know if I could. I want to just like leave it at that. It's just like welcome to cybersecurity. That's just kind of what it is. And like in reality, like that is what it is. Like and I know that's not the answer that you want by any means, but there is so much to learn in IT. Like you'll never know and understand all of the different technical things.
Mhm.
And first and foremost, that's what you have to understand. Like that's what you need to really like open up your mind to and accept is like you're never going to know all of the things, and that's okay. Like that is completely okay. Now that you kind of like have that understanding with yourself, now you need to start looking at like how you set basically maybe like some time frames or timelines for yourself in like basically going down like new discoveries and things like that, because that's going to always be a challenge with people who are getting into IT and cybersecurity. You're always going to see something new and cool and amazing, and you're going to want to learn it and all these things. And you're going to have to stop yourself and slow down a little bit and just say,
Mhm.
okay, like slow and steady like wins the race, honestly, when it comes down to this. There's no point in trying to rush everything and trying to learn everything you can as quickly as possible and thinking that you need to do that, because you don't. Just take your time and enjoy your learning experience. And I know that sounds maybe like cheesy or something or stupid, but it's like there's so many facts behind that. It's just like you're not in competition with anybody at all when it comes to like your journey into this field and what you're trying to do. So take your time and really just be comfortable with what it is that you're doing, and feel confident in that. Um,
Mhm.
and just feel comfortable and confident knowing that you don't have to know everything. Like
Yeah.
I want you to try to like feel that as much as you can, be like, and what I want you to take from that statement right there though is like hopefully you're the person who can figure it out though, because like it's totally okay to not know everything, but
Yeah.
when it comes to like IT and security and all that, it's not okay to not know how to figure it out, if that makes sense. And that, I say that only because like we have every single resource available to us at our fingertips at every second of the day, from our cell phone to our
Mhm.
computers. Like we have all of the information that we need right at our fingertips and accessible. And if it's not easily accessible via like a Google search or something through like the GPTs, like you're part of this community, right? You're here with us at Black Hills and Anti-Siphon, and we appreciate you for that. Take advantage of this community and ask the community if if there's anything that you ever need help with, assistance with, you're stuck on something. Like reaching out to your peers and your network is an amazing, extremely valuable resource. Don't ever underestimate that. It's totally okay to like reach out to people to ask questions, because sometimes the internet isn't going to have all the answers, or sometimes it's very difficult to find. And I apologize, I'm like rambling a lot. Sorry, Brett.
It's fine. At least you don't have audio issues this week.
Yeah, right. And I got it to work on the YouTube with all the audio too. So I think everybody's audio is
Yeah.
like syncing through perfectly. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry
And
for
I will
rumbling.
add that it's better to uh, compare yourself with with other people, but compare yourself with the you of 1 month ago. Because if you're seeing improvement from the you of 1 month ago, uh, you're gonna feel good. Uh, and it's also okay to forget things. Uh, for example, I'm a telecommunications engineer, and I used to do a lot of networking, like networking with switches, routers, and everything. I spin up my own ISP in a laboratory. Uh, I used to do like really complicated math with satellites and everything. If you ask me to do that today, I won't be able to do it because that was what 5 years ago before I graduated, and I don't know how to do it anymore. So I okay because I don't use those skills not today. The same for some cybersecurity stuff. I used to do some forensics back in the day, but back when I started. I don't know anymore how to do forensics. I know how to use a Velociraptor just because I know I can use Velociraptor as a C2 for a red team. And that's pretty much it. Just get to know what is relevant to you now and learn that, basically.
Thank you, sir. Glory Toromania. Okay. Would you guys say InfoSec is AI proof as someone who plans to graduate this year from a BSc? No, InfoSec is not AI proof. AI is going to make it. Uh, yeah, AI is going to keep everybody in cybersecurity very, very busy for a long time.
Mhm.
Like that's
Hey, we got
basically what
Tyler in the
AI
chat.
is. What's up?
We got Tyler Ramsby on the chat.
Oh yes. Tyler, you got to join the Discord, my man. We'll get you up on stage. You can help answer questions too.
Hey, if you have time. I am in all places. Yeah, it's hard to be in all places. I know, like I think I'm in, like 90 plus Discord servers after cleaning up. Mm,
Yeah, sorry, I'm going through the chat too. Sorry, y'all. So if you have a question, go ahead and throw it in the chat. We'll try to get to it if we can. I see Tyler Ramsby in the Discord. I'm gonna invite him to speak. And if you guys see something too, if you see something,
Okay.
say something.
In
Brett, is your
something about
microphone working, or are you just being quiet today?
It's working.
I
I see
think
Glory to Romania said, what about a case where I sort of know, but the moderate possibility to make an error is there? Do I act like I know it or just say I don't know and I'll study this? Like just being able to say you know where you can like reference it or what you need to look up is still better than pretending to know it. Like, be honest. It's the reality of it. Just be honest and say like, hey, I don't know this now, but like I look this up or I'll get back to you with an answer and then get back to them.
wrong transform upside down.
Dude, can you guys hear me? I
We
was
can
not
hear
planning
you.
on
Yes.
talking. I didn't have any of my audio stuff ready. Okay, cool.
You don't
Happy
have
to hang out though.
No, it's cool, dude. You're all good. You didn't have to. But thank you for joining us. So we have Tyler Ramsby joining us. If you're not familiar with Tyler, I'm going to pull up some of this stuff. And Tyler, if you beat me to it, that's great.
Yeah, I suppose I guess a couple of things I do. I make YouTube videos. I also do some pen testing, started my own firm and do some training, have a platform that's sort of like Try Hack Me Hack the Box, but with courses and hands-on labs called Hack Smarter. So I'll drop some links in chat, but huge fan of Black Hills. I've never been on like a Black Hills event though. This is amazing. I just went to Deadwood, but I've never like I'm in the Discord, but I have too many Discords. I saw Zach was live on YouTube and I was like, yo, it's the king of influencers, Zach Hill.
Oh, come on.
And then saw it was actually on Discord. So I pivoted over to Discord.
Well, thanks for joining, man. There's a link for Hack Smarter in the Discord chat now.
Okay, great labs. Okay, so going back into the mistakes I'm making, there's a possibility of making a mistakes. Remember that we're human. We can make mistakes. The important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and don't make them again.
Oh, where
if
was
you
that
make the
question
mistake,
who was it?
the chat moved so fast.
I know.
Okay, a glory
Fine,
to
just tag
Romania.
me.
Yeah. It's fine to make a mistake once or twice, but once you get to 3 times, 4 times, you're not learning from your mistakes, and that's really important to note.
Yeah, if you make the same mistake like more than twice, that's more so telling on you more than anything else, right? Of what you're capable of essentially. It's totally okay to make mistakes, and even like for many people, like it's totally okay to be that person that takes an entire network down and makes that mistake. All right, like I've done that. I took an entire school district down once from plugging a network cable back into a switch and just looped the entire network. Took the whole school network down, right? Like I've done that. A lot of people have done similar things like that. You make a mistake like that, and when it's like that detrimental or that big or whatever, like you remember that for the rest of your life. And now for me, like I take every single chord and I follow that chord like the entire length if I'm able to, or I'll actually use like the network tester and make sure it's the right the right line. But you're going to do things like that. But when you do it again, when you make that same mistake again, for the same organization too, like that's going to start looking bad on you, right? Like I think Leon had said, like you have to learn from your mistakes, and that's the biggest thing. It's like there's no failures or anything. Like anytime like you quote unquote fail at something, like it's just a learning opportunity. That's what it all is. Learning
Yeah.
opportunities.
I used to have a professor that used to that says like, "Hey, there are no problems. There are only challenges to
Right.
solve."
How many hackers to figure out a webcam? Yeah, Tyler, what's up, man? Can't do a webcam,
You guys
man?
can't see me? You
No, we
can't
can't
see
see.
me? On my end, it shows my video and everything. I wonder. Here, I'll try to read. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna close out Discord, but I see myself. If you want to invite me back, I'll rejoin. I'll be ready.
We've had weird things happen on this AMA with Discord.
Pain sometimes. Mountainous, what kind of home lab equipment would you recommend for a blue purple teamer? You'd like to build a home lab out fully, but want to start with hardware that you can pick apart and learn more from a defensive standpoint. Ah, man. Yeah, that's definitely a great question. I guess I would start with like first networking and just knowing and understanding like where your networking skills and knowledge is at. Not that you need to like necessarily spend a ton of money on equipment for that, because you can virtualize a lot of the networking things with like Packet Tracer and GNS3 and all that. So really, like I think what you ideally need is just a powerful enough computer to virtualize a bunch of different VMs, essentially, because almost everything can be virtualized these days. If you actually want to get your hands on the equipment, which I will always recommend because I think it's very beneficial. It's just going to be more expensive. You can pick up like older Cisco routers, switches, and things like that off of like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. And those can definitely be very, very helpful and just, getting kind of started and getting familiar with the equipment. And then you kind of build out a home lab from there. But either way, you're definitely going to need a powerful enough computer to run a couple VMs. When it comes to like home labs, honestly, like these days, I don't think a lot is required as it once was. Like I remember thinking back in, like 10 years ago, like, oh, I'm going to build a home lab. And it's like, okay, like I actually need to go get like a rack, and like I actually got to get a couple servers and like actual like hardware and switches. And then the cloud became a thing and destroyed it all. So here we are now.
Well, from my side, I always say work with what you have, because I started working with what I had, which back then was a ThinkPad T430, something with like a second gen i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigabyte HDD, like a hard drive, not an SSD. I still cannot see you, Taylor. I don't know what's happening. But if you have a laptop already that is pretty recent, you already have enough for your home lab for starting out. After you have your initial setup or something, you can save up some money, like $100, depending on the country you're in. Might be easier your situation. I see someone said like, hey, you can go to Goodwill and so sites like that and get those computers for like dirty cheap. And if you find a business that is getting rid of computers, you can get them for free too, just with a hard drive, because they destroy those hard drives. But you get a whole computer for free. You just need to buy the hard drive.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation too. Tyler, your camera still doesn't work, homie. Poor guy.
Dude,
Uh,
yeah, I apologize. I see it.
You're
I
good.
see myself, but nobody else can see me on camera. I have no idea why.
It's just
It's
Discord.
Discord.
Discord is weird, man. It's so weird sometimes.
I'll just turn it off so you guys see
Matzo on the YouTube, as a 33-year-old trying to break into the industry, what advice would you give to keep up with the younger crowd?
Man,
You
you're
are the
young.
younger crowd. Yeah, you're the younger crowd, man. Like I'm sorry to burst that bubble for you or whatever, but you're not old. There's people who are 40, 50, even 60 years old, like retiring from their careers that they've had for like the last 20 or 30 years. And they're like, I want to go work in IT. And they do it. Uh, like it's amazing to me. But like, dude, you are far from like being old or whatever. Like you're still in the younger crowd. You don't have anything to worry about. So advice that I have for you is use your years, like yeah, use your age as an advantage for you. Like you have more years of experience just working, period, right? So like you've seen more things than younger people have who are just graduating from college. So you have, you know, different experiences and knowledge that you bring to the table that can be helpful for you. So I wouldn't worry about it. And then Strubelsaurix. Oh, I know who that is. Okay. How can anyone get InfoSec experience when every job requires years of InfoSec experience? Won't there eventually be no one in InfoSec if that pattern is drawn out over a long enough span of time? That is like the constant, like, I think frustration from everybody trying to get into IT is when they start looking at the job descriptions, they all require years of experience. Even like the help desk job, you know, they require 4 years of experience. Makes no sense. You can look at every single job description as a wish list. And that's first and foremost, I think, what you need to have an understanding of when you're looking at all these job descriptions. And I think that's one thing that not a lot of people like really think about as they're looking at these things. And the first that thought that then comes to their head is like, okay, they're asking for 5 years of experience on this entry level job. Like that makes no sense. Like this is ridiculous. This is stupid and all these different things, right? But it's just like, no, at the end of the day, this business is saying, we really wish and hope and pray that we can find a unicorn to fit every single thing in this job description. Is that going to happen? Probably not. And if it were to happen, like more than likely that organization doesn't really want to pay like that top end of that, like their pay tier for that person. And if you are that person that is that unicorn that meets every single like checklist on that box for that job description, is that really something you want to be doing anyway? Because that doesn't sound very challenging. It probably would be like pretty boring to just not be challenged and do like all the things that you're used to type of thing. So here's many thoughts that I'm bringing to your question, Struble, and I apologize for that. But ultimately, job descriptions are wish lists. If you meet like 40, 50% of that job description, you're more than qualified enough to do the job. Even when it comes to like the experience. Yeah, you're not going to get the experience without getting a job. But that's why we are constantly pushing doing home labs, like doing blogs and like doing all that stuff. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I know that I've talked to you about already that you're doing, which is great. Like those are the things that help you stand out these days because the entire job industry has just changed drastically in how people find employment or more easily find employment, I should say. Like if you want to have like a shortcut to finding employment, you know, rather than just blindly spraying and spraying job applications
right.
everywhere, right? Like doing the networking work of putting yourself out there and doing these blogs and all that type of stuff, like that's the stuff that actually makes a difference and stands out for people. And that's many times how you bypass these ridiculous requirements on experience, because now you're able to validate yourself through like all these blogs or, you know, like write-ups that you've done, all these labs that you've accomplished, you know, like all your hack the box challenges that you've completed, you know, and things like that. There's a lot of organizations and people who do pay very, very close attention to those things and put a lot of weight on that. And that's what they're looking for. Hey, we see you.
We
Well,
see
there
you.
you go.
Awesome.
So yeah, I guess those are ways to bypass those silly requirements for experience. I don't know if you guys have any other suggestions for that one, but
I don't wanna say is that if you see the job description of what you're supposed to do at the job and you like it, just apply anyways. Don't see the requirements because you never those requirements are usually written by HR and not the person that will be your boss at the job. And as long as you have a good enough resume, you will pass all the filters, and HR is gonna pass you to get an interview. And as always, as we can recommend, jump home like a hacker. See that workshop by Jason and apply those steps, and you will get a job.
I like what and I can't even say the name. And Anan, that's what I'm going to say. Younger crowd needs to keep up with people above 30. We know how to use a laptop. Younger generation is struggling how to use such big devices, and that's actually really really true. Like a lot of people I don't think like understand this is like millennials are essentially like the golden age of technology, right? Like we're just it is ingrained into our DNA, right? But
Mhm.
anybody who is older than us and younger than us has no freaking clue how to use technology. And like challenge me, like legit, like fight me on that one because it is true. Younger people have no idea how to use technology. Well, they know how to use a cell phone. That's it. Like, and they barely know how to use that. Like, they know how to browse
Mhm.
TikTok on that thing, and that's it. Like, I promise you. Like, kids these days, I don't mean
Today I
offense
was
by that, like, but it really like they don't know tech like you think that they would, and it's really weird to see that, seeing like them grow up with these things, but just be completely oblivious to how all of it works. But I guess I get it in a way, right? But it's
mm,
just crazy.
yeah,
You
today
teach your
I
kids
was
how to use
talking.
laptops? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Leon. Go ahead.
It's fine. Today I was talking with the guys at CourseTech because I was telling them like some students. I'm with Rise Cyber, which we run workshops and cohorts for universities, and some students were struggling with the guacamole shortcut to open the menu to upload and download files from the VMs, which is like Control Shift Alt, I think it was, and was telling them, hey, it will be nice to have like a button that like you can see on right hand me that you can open a panel with that little button on the side of the screen, and they were like, yeah, I understand completely.
So I'm curious. I don't know. This doesn't really fit career questions, but I've been trying to teach my kids how to use real computers. So like my kids are 9 and 6. They know how to use tablets. So I bought them like cheap Chromebooks, and I didn't realize how hard it is to teach kids who are like native tablet users how to use a regular laptop. Like it's way more challenging than I expected. Like has that been? I don't know who all has kids here, but that's I was just surprised by how difficult it actually is to teach them.
Yeah, they want to keep touching the screen. Like,
They
no, you
do,
don't touch
yeah,
the
yeah. They're
screen. You
like trying
can't
to
touch the
scroll.
screen. No, no, no.
Yeah,
It's not. Can use this.
I don't have I don't have kids, but I do teach kids from time to time. And it really depends on the type of kids, because there are some kids that like to do the stuff themselves, and there are others that like seeing you when you're doing the stuff, and you explain clearly in terms that kids can understand how to do stuff. And then you're like you're explaining, let's say you're explaining how to use the Windows Explorer or something. In the case of Chrome OS, the File Explorer, and then you're like, okay, I already teach you how to do all that stuff, how to create files, how to manage folders, and all that stuff. Now come here, take the seat, and do it yourself. Those you need to find what your kids like, because if they don't like how you're teaching them, they will learn nothing at all.
Yeah, it's hard though, man. Like, I, I don't know. I've left it mostly to the school because like when they go to school and they have to use a computer, so like they come home and they're like, "Oh, I know how to do this and this." I'm like, "All right, like legit. That's perfect. Okay." So
Oh, another thing, you can teach them to do cool stuff with the computer that they can show off to their friends. they will learn really fast that.
Hey kids, here's how we create a keylogger. You can steal your friend's
Right.
Roblox account. Follow
Dude,
me.
I'm waiting for my boys to like figure it out. Like, yeah, I cause like I definitely don't push it on my and any of my children at all. Like, I don't ever want to be that dad that like pushes like my
No,
interests and things on them, you know. So it's like they know what I like. If they ever have questions, like I'm always like, if you have like, we can talk about it, and I'll show you, but like, I'm not gonna force it on them.
Yeah.
So like they know that.
when you say kids that you're a hacker, they like it immediately. It sounds like pretty cool to them.
So I had lunch with my daughter. She's in 3rd grade. It was her birthday, so I had lunch at the school with her. And I think she brought something up, but all the kids found out I was a YouTuber. I don't even have that many subscribers, but like immediately I was the 3rd grade celebrity until they asked me what I did. And I was like, well, I teach like cybersecurity. And they're like, that's boring. You don't dance and stuff. I was like, no, I don't freaking dance on my YouTube channel. But for at least a little bit, I was the 3rd grade celebrity. It was me and 6'7". Like I was up there with 6'7" for
Oh,
like 10
man.
minutes at least.
Dude, I've had the play button since my kids were born, I think, right? You know, but it wasn't until I think my older boy was like 6 or 7. I'm sorry to do that to y'all, but where he was like getting into YouTube and like figuring out the YouTube thing, and he came down here one day and he saw the button. He's like, "Why do you have that?" I'm like, "'Cause I do YouTube." He's like, "No, you don't." I'm like, yeah, dude, I do. What do you mean? Like, I mean, I know I've shown him stuff before in the past, but he's never like really put it together, you know? He's like, "You have 100,000 subscribers?" I was like, "Yeah," you know? And he's like, "Show me," you know? So I like show him. He's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like telling him, and I'm trying to pull. I'm like, "Well, I talk about like computers and stuff." And he's like, you know, looking at me funny, and then I show him like a video, and he's like, "I thought you were a real YouTuber. You're not a real YouTuber. What is this?" I'm like, "Thanks, dude. Thanks. Like, I thought you did like games and
Sorry.
stuff." Like, yeah, no, I guess I'm not a real YouTuber because I don't do games. Oh, yeah, that was a fun convo. Sorry, the pain. You had a question here. You've been trying to set up a home lab, but you're also very much aware of how often older equipment is becoming a liability. How do you reasonably balance price and convenience over possible danger of using end-of-life equipment? Just move everything to the cloud. Honestly, if you want to have, you know, physical equipment, that's always going to be, it's always going to be more of a, I guess, a liability in a way, for sure, and more of a drag on your wallet, for sure. Um, I don't know that there's a reasonable balance or convenience there, quite honestly. I think the convenience is everything in the cloud and making it easier nowadays. But again, I totally understand like getting the physical equipment, putting your hands on it. I think we made the suggestion already of like the Craigslist, the Facebook Marketplace, reaching out to to organizations that may be retiring things. Those organizations would be like school districts. School districts, just about every single year. Not every single school district does this, but like I'm sure like you live in an area that has multiple school districts, so they might be on a different cycle, but just about every single year they refresh hardware. So they often will do like what do you call it? Where they like, you know, auction, not like an auction or something, but similar to that. You guys know, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. But they'll do things where they'll resell that equipment back to the community for like really, really cheap. So that's an option for you.
I will say it's fine to have end of life equipment, especially because it mostly gets used the same as the new equipment. As someone said, just don't publish it to the internet.
Yeah, that would be like just the reality is there's a lot of places and companies out there that are still using legacy and older equipment just because they can't upgrade. So it's always beneficial to understand it. And if you're worried about the vulnerabilities, isolate it. Like if you're testing it on a home lab, you don't actually need to talk to the internet. It's just the reality. If you have the physical device, you don't need to talk out. So isolate it and play with it.
There's a question from user 8675309. Since today is new, Eric is known for his heavy automation, large scale recon across many bounty paying targets. How can I build something similar? You want to automate wide recon, not just basic enumeration, but a full workflow that filters noise and gives clean, useful results like he does. What's the right way to set up kind of an automated recon pipeline? Oh man, there's got to be like some type of like GitHub repository that put something together for that, like what you're looking to do there.
Uh,
Tyler shaking his head like,
there's
yeah. I'm just like, there's got to be something.
I don't
there's
do
a
bug bounty.
product.
Oh, go ahead.
There's a product that does this where you can build flows where it does like basic recon and then you can filter the output. I don't remember right now the number of products. Let me look it up really quickly. Yeah, it's something that you can do. You can build a bunch of scripts that does that for you.
What are you gonna say,
Like
Tyler?
I've seen Namsek talk about that, like on his YouTube channel. I just saw like
Yeah,
like with bug bounty, it's very much you have to hunt for things that other people don't know in order to make money, right? I generally do pen testing, so scopes are very clear, very defined. I'm not doing that level of recon, so I don't have a good answer for it. But I know I've seen Namsek make videos on that specific subject. I can't point you to a specific video, but in my opinion, Namsek is a genuinely nice human, but also just has incredible content on both recon and bug bounty, and kind of showing his full process and methodology.
there you go. I found it. Trickest. That's a platform. I haven't seen this platform in years. They still have the free community version where you can have some self-hosted things running on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Have you used
that's
this
basically
before?
what you want.
Garish in the on the YouTube said that old school district admin that's what he used to do. At least in his state, they had to offer equipment to the public to buy first before we sent it to recycle. Usually done in the summer to the fall before the start of school. So yeah, just for anybody out there looking to get old equipment, school districts, and as well if you're ever looking for an internship. Start looking at the local school districts in your area around like March, April, and May. They'll start posting job whatever. I'm terrible with words today, but they'll start posting jobs for interns during the summer in school districts. So yeah, be sure to check like March, April, May.
Yeah.
That's great way to get experience and an internship.
Yeah. And if you're in a conference, I'm gonna use this example everywhere because a couple of weeks ago I was at the SentinelOne conference. I was being a mentor for some students for AISAs and other nonprofits, and there was this student that I hung out with while going through the vendors, and she was asking every single vendor, "Hey, do you have internships? And if you have, can you get me one?" That's the first time I saw like a student doing that on real time because a lot of people are like, "Hey, I don't know, I don't feel good doing that." Hey, you need to get the internship. Shameless, basically.
I
Don't
mean,
be like overly.
I don't feel like that's too bad, man. Like, I mean, I feel like that's like that is the optimal way to take advantage of that opportunity, in my opinion, right? Like you're paying
Yeah.
like oftentimes like, a few $100s. You're paying good money to go to some of these events oftentimes. Like
Mhm.
you want to take advantage of that the best that you can. Like I totally like respect that and I would encourage more people to do that type of thing. Like if you're
Yeah.
like you're going to these events and like you're looking for something different, like what is it going to hurt you to ask them? Like you
Yeah.
never know like what's going to come of that. The worst thing that you're going to hear is no. And like if you
Yeah,
can't accept
exactly.
no in your life, like you need to reevaluate your life now because you're going to hear no a lot. So don't be
Yeah.
afraid.
Also, it's not like you go to the booth and straight up ask for the internship. Get to know the person, get to know what they do, get to know their experiences. And then when you're done talking for around 10 minutes, then you can ask, "Hey, do you have an internship? Because I really like what you told me, your experiences, and all that words, talking pretty." And then you ask for the internship, basically. and that leaves a really good impression on the recruiters.
Comradish, you have a very long question here. Oh man, I don't know if anybody will be able to answer that one. I'll put this out there though. So Comradish built this gnarly control plane using Crossplane, and they were thinking about offering it as a CSP and going through the whole FedRAMP 20 times thing. And then I remembered they're a bit lazy and know that it's quite a pain in the butt to handle all the evidence gathering, and they're just one person. What they are curious about though is this. The core of it they thought was the namespace separation for CUI, which is cool, but if I'm not going to go through certifying the CSP, I'm wondering if I should just OSS the resources, open source the resources. The core question is, do you think that it's less stress to offer a managed MSSP type service using Crossplane as your provisioning stack than trying to deal with CUI, and instead just architect it where namespaces and network isolations happens at the client level? That is just quite the question that I don't know that anybody here could answer. But I wanted to put that out there, not to embarrass you or anybody by that means, but just to say that, hey, sometimes y'all are going to ask questions that I don't think we can answer. But we will still try and put it out
is
there.
controlled unclassed information.
Oh,
Is
okay.
what I would say for like, so sensitive information, PII, things like that, that should be in a controlled setting.
And CSP on this context?
Give me a second. Like that didn't
what
immediately come to my brain. Like the other one did.
Yeah,
Content
because
security policy is the only thing I can think of. But like my thing is, it's isolating and controlling the data. Like I don't think most MSSPs would care about that. Like they're not handling it. Like yes, the FedRAMP and the federal government is more controlled with those types of data. So it really depends on who you're trying to market it towards when you're trying to isolate that type of information.
Yeah, I just saw this from
really
Payne. Oh, go ahead.
MSSP for that specializes in that field would be my thing. Like whether they're doing medical grade, critical infrastructure, banking, try and like target those industries where their data protection is the main thing, and then try and kind of spin it. But FedRAMP, yeah, that's there's a process, and that's just exhausting. I don't think it's worth it, honestly. You could end up not getting paid at all for a month.
The Paynes. I saw that you said that you found out 3 times that you were turned down because you didn't meet every single thing on the list. I don't know if it was Brett that said it, but it's like that's not a place that you want to work if they are literally trying to hit the checkbox for every single person that's there. That's going to be probably a very, very miserable place of employment.
Well, it also could
sounds
be
like there's no room to like operate and grow.
Well, it could be like, the technical people provide their requests, and here's what we would really like to the HR, and the HR say, okay, well, they expect everything on there to be met, and then HR shuts you down. So you never actually make it to the people that could validate your experience. And that could also be what's happening there.
It's like HR sucks.
Most of the time.
CUI equals pronounce cooey? Cooey? You want me to say cooey? Like gooey? I don't know. It doesn't sound right to call it a cooey.
Doesn't.
It's not.
Cooey.
It's not.
Cooey.
It's not right.
I like gooey. Gooey sounds fun. Sorry. IJX1. Hi, folks. You're working with fellow technical co-founder. We are building a prevention-based antivirus with kernel-level application sandbox. It started as a fun project. Now considering to commercialize it. Good luck. Curious to hear your thoughts. We did initial benchmarks and it is competitive with CrowdStrike and a few other AV. We're a newbie to cybersecurity product. Want to hear if AV is good space for a commercial SaaS product focusing on B2B. Man, you might get some people responding to you on that. I don't know that I necessarily want to respond to that one because I don't know that I'd provide maybe the best input or thoughts on that. All I could tell you is good luck. That's a hard market to break into, honestly. If something like that is going to require, like, I feel like ridiculous amounts of funding just to get seen, you know, or just ridiculous amount of buy-in from the right people. And that just requires the right connections, which can sometimes be difficult.
I mean, and let's remember, AV and EDR are different products. They're not the same.
What?
Well, I can see if the AV connects like really well with other EDRs, then you might have something. But that said, most EDRs have an AV engine already built in.
I mean,
So,
the easiest target is small businesses that can't afford those major companies. And then your best win is if something like CrowdStrike happens again, and like you put yourself out there, like, oh, like here's a solution that's not like that. Like you bank on their reputation failures. But if you're trying to branch out and start, you got to start with the smaller companies that maybe can't afford those larger licenses, and then you can build a reputation. And then, well, realistically, the most you'll probably end up is someone's going to try and buy you out so they can get your share of that market.
All right. Is it SQL or is it SQL? Go.
SQL,
Ah, Leon. You. All right,
Spanish
fine.
pronunciation.
Fine. You win. Just because I like that one the best. SQLA? Perfect. Yep.
There
I
you
like how
go.
you ended to do it. It's perfect.
There you go, Alex. He likes how I said it. You're learning
Right.
Spanish now.
We got about 5 minutes left. So if y'all have questions, please throw them in the chat. If we missed your question, just let us know. We'll try to answer it. But we do these every single week, every Tuesday, same time, same place. Y'all are more than welcome to join and to help answer questions if you would like. Always love having that participation. And of course, you're always welcome to ask questions as well. There are no stupid questions. I like this.
I didn't even know this happened. Dude, this is amazing. I'm gonna at least attend other Tuesdays. This is cool.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to join, man. That's for the community. So, and if there's ever an opportunity where like somebody's asking about something, that's like hack related, and you want to say, hey, check out my class, you're more than welcome to do that. That's what like these are all for. It's just to help each other out as much as we can and hang out. I mean, I really like hanging out with everybody. It's fun. I want to do something different too. That's what these are for. If you guys see questions too, please go ahead and pick them up. And Anan, thank you. Appreciate that. Small companies probably don't even go with AV. They probably just go with like Microsoft Defender and say, we're good.
I like Defender in the fact that it identifies an issue, doesn't flag it for me, just goes and fixes it. I don't need to see it all the time. I know there's crap out there. Like, just quietly fix it, push it with an update, and then I'll get mad at you with the update. It's fine.
I mean, and with modern, if you keep Windows updated, because most people don't, you keep Windows Defender updated with a smart screen and cloud backups with OneDrive, with the free version, of course, and you use a blocker, you're gonna block like 98% of the threats out there.
What do you update Windows though? End users can't even
restart
their computer.
Exactly.
Like I think one of my favorite parts about working like help desk back in the day was always dealing with the end users who would call in with some type of issue, and I'd be like, all right, just restart your computer. And they'd get so frustrated, which I totally get. It was like literally like restarting your computer will fix this right now. And they're like, okay, fine, I restarted. And like I go and I check, like, okay, uptime. And it's like, this computer's been up for 37 days. And it's like, no, you didn't restart. Show me what you did. So like I'll log in and they just like log off. And they're like, that I restarted. I'm like, nah, you
Yeah.
just logged off. Like, let's actually reboot this thing, Like I
Well, the
always love
people
that
that have
stuff.
gaming profiles and then they lock the screen and then they get mad that their computer stops working is because like by locking it you prevented the normal security push overnight. Log out and we can make it so you don't have issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to tell
Yeah.
people you have to remember a computer's just like your brain. When your brain has to sleep to kind of reboot its memory, like your computer has to do the same. Like you can't just run it constantly and then be upset that it's running slow.
Yeah. I even
Joe-
see some security admins having like the Windows, the logo on the downside, like red. When you have important security updates. I see security admins having that.
Mm. Joseph 20. I would like to yell my answer back at you. I'm gonna put my answer on caps lock. Just kidding. Hey there, you're new to this domain. Would like to hear from you. Anything that will help starting cybersecurity. Would join John Strand's Getting Started in Cybersecurity class next week. You can
Sure.
sign up for $0 with tuition assistance if you'd like, or you could pay it forward. Paying forward is awesome. That's what we believe in. But honestly, I'm not even joking with you. You should actually take that
Mhm.
class. It's really good,
Yeah.
and you can take it for $0. So like it's a benefit. I would not lie to you on this one. Pay you $35.67. Not paying anybody.
Colombian peso.
Peso? Is that worth more than an American dollar now? Might be.
No.
Feel like it.
One
would be.
one
Soon.
5 Colombian peso might be like 1 cent or something like that. Let me check.
They're like trying to get rid of the pennies here everywhere now.
Oh,
Like, they're
it's
putting
less than
signs
a
up
cent.
everywhere, like, "Hey, we're gonna round up to the nearest 5 or like cents or whatever because we have no pennies." I'm okay with that
And
because I hate copper, and I hate the way that it makes my hands smell. I don't know if that's just me, but like I hate pennies because of that. It smells like blood.
we have
Gross.
cents in our country, like in the prices, but we don't have like physical currency that we can use cents for.
Everything gonna go crypto these days?
Some businesses are accepting crypto nowadays, like down here, probably in the US too, but it's becoming more common, especially for reasons that I should not say on stream.
Yeah.
Well, you can guess
like
what I
those.
mean.
We got you. You're good. All right, y'all. That was this week's AMA. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate you, Tyler. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you're welcome anytime. I know
Dude,
you're a
I'll be
busy
here.
man these
Thank you.
days with your new ventures, and I wish you nothing but the best. So you know that we've talked in Vegas. So proud of you, man. I'm excited for you. If you need anything from us,
Yeah.
you can always reach out. We're happy to help you out too. But we hope to see you back at another one, and we hope to see you all back at another AMA. Hope you all have a good holiday if you're in the States and all that. Otherwise, see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.